Cheers.
Cheers.
And welcome to another episode of Marlon vs. Marlon. I'm your boy Marlon.
And I'm your boy Marlon.
Join us as two childhood friends go back and forth, argue, fight, debate, sometimes maybe even agree on everything from sports to pop culture and everything in between.
All right, today's episode, we had a huge matchup, of course, with the Cowboys and Niners. We'll get into a little bit of that later. WNBA finals are going on right now. My girls are getting smacked. I mean, it's Johannes just shot an air ball. It's 13-32 right now, and it's game 2. So I'll be dissecting that. We will be dissecting that. And also, too, we'll look into a Monday Night Football game that's this is my Super Bowl. We obviously ain't making it nowhere close to a Super Bowl, but Cowboys Chargers Monday Night Football. This is my Super Bowl. So for one, how are you feeling about the game, and are you confident that you guys can take care of business Monday night?
I'm confident about a couple things.
Go ahead.
I don't have any confidence in the Cowboys. I don't have any confidence in the Chargers. I don't have any confidence in this. It'll probably be an entertaining game, to say the least. I'm glad it's your Super Bowl. We've been an actual Super Bowl, so I'm not going to say that it's our Super Bowl. But, I mean, it should be a good game. Two middle-of-the-line teams that people think are better than they really are. So, we'll see.
Can you still hear that echo, by the way?
No.
Okay. Bet. Yeah, man. I'm just. Am I confident in my team? And I can hear the game in your background, by the way.
I don't have a game on.
It ain't me. I hear some background noise in my headphones. But anyways, yeah, man, I'm not confident at all. Just in my team, just in general. But this could be the turnaround point for us. I mean, looking at what Austin Eckler's probably coming back. I mean, I don't know. Derwin James possibly may come back, so we may. See, I told you I heard something. See, over there making me feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. It's great podcasting, by the way. Marlon kills me, man. He can't hear nothing I'm saying, so I can talk all the shit I want. He's the worst Marlon I know. It's ridiculous.
I forgot I bought the good microphone.
Yeah. Okay. So much better. All right. But yeah, no, looking at just our team in general, I mean, we got offensively, I'm not worried about offense. Kellen Moore, this is his revenge game. He's going to try to show everybody that Dallas made a mistake by getting rid of him. So he's going to do what he can do to make you guys look bad. But also, too, the Cowboys do have one of the best defenses in the league. Some games, I think if we look at one game of Arizona, they definitely didn't show up that game, but you can't necessarily fault them for, or at least that much, in San Francisco. San Francisco's a different beast, but yeah, man. I'm just excited for a good game. It has to be a close game. We played each other, I believe, was it 2 years ago that we played each other?
When we beat you guys?
For 2 years ago in week 2 when we played, so that was an entertaining matchup, which we should have won. But yeah, man, I'm just hoping for definitely a good game, and I needed Khalil Mack to have a game like he did a couple weeks ago, having 6 sacks for sure.
So I think it's funny that you said this is your Super Bowl, and then you said this could be the turnaround point for your season. That's kind of oxymoronic.
It's the Chargers. It's the Chargers.
But I think the Cowboys do have a good defense, but they only show up at times.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm saying this is my Super Bowl, as in me personally, not our team, but me. Just being in Dallas, knowing all of the Cowboys fans that's out there, like this is almost equivalent to a Raider game. So that's all I meant by that. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I think it's literal too for your team. And Kellen Moore. This is probably the game he has circled on his calendar.
Definitely Kellen Moore. I agree with you on that.
But what I like about Kellen Moore in our defensive matchup is we know what he does, and we know exactly what he does. He's not going to mix it up. He doesn't mix it up. So our defense should look good this week. Now, I'll say this because I don't like when fans do this when they move the goalposts for their teams. Please hold the 49er game against us. I don't know what that was for the record. Um, please hold the 49ers game against us because we deserve to be held to that standard. If you want to be a top team in the NFC, you got to beat the 49ers, you got to beat the Eagles. And we weren't able to do that. They were tougher than us. They looked like they wanted to play football, and we wanted to play like 7-on-7 or something. And so the 49ers deserve everything they got in that win. I don't like the F Dallas. I don't like that, Kittle gets away with that kind of stuff. But to the point where they just come out and have this mean reputation, that comes along with it. You got guys punching people in the face and not getting kicked out of games. You got guys wearing F Dallas shirts and not getting fined. And then you got Tyreek Hill not wearing socks and being fined. So tell me how that adds up. I don't know. But I like how the 49ers play football, man. I've never liked the 49ers a day in my life. But I like Fred Warner and I like how they play football. Great win on their part. Terrible showing for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
and hold it against them. Hold it against the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I never really stay up for Sunday night, Monday night games unless my team is playing. But I definitely went to sleep closer to halftime on that game. But it was one of the games I was excited for. It was, they had T.O. open and you had the history of the Cowboys, 49ers. Like it definitely got you hyped up to watch the game. And from start to finish, I mean, in the first quarter, probably in the middle of the first quarter, it looked like it was going to be a decent game. When I think it was the first quarter when the guy got that Dak threw the touchdown. I don't know who that receiver was, but
14-7.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a great game. So, but yeah,
it's Kevontae Turpin. That was our return guy. He got hurt. He didn't play the rest of the game.
Okay, but from all three phases, I mean, from Brock Purdy looked like he was one of the top 2-3 quarterbacks in the league with the way he was playing. Christian McCaffrey was consistent. Kittle scored his first touchdown and then 2 more after that of the season. Debo wasn't necessarily too much of a factor, Debo Ayuk, but I mean, it was a good game. And then also defensively, they did what they had to do. And I think that's what brings in the question of Dak. And I have a question for you, just as a Cowboys fan. It's very interesting to see what the contract situation is with him, knowing that I believe, if I have this correct, I know you know, can you guys get out of that contract after this year, which I think you guys could. But also, too, are you guys looking to I'm sure Trey Lance isn't the option, but let's say, for instance, Dak isn't the option going forward. Where do you go to then?
Well, let's say 2 things, right? Brock Purdy didn't look great. He didn't connect on contested passes. He was 17 of 24, and he was hitting wide open receivers.
That's pretty good.
17 of 24 is pretty good. Okay,
that's pretty
cool.
I'll take it.
But again, watching the game, he's hitting wide open receivers. That's not hard to do. It doesn't impress. What I'm saying is, when you got in second and third downs and there was contested balls, they don't get completed. If you make Brock Purdy beat you, you have a chance. But when you're giving up 4 or 5 runs a carry, when you're letting Kittle, when you're letting Ayuk run in the secondary free, they're gonna be wide open. I could have went out there and made some passes. I hate that they're building Purdy up like he balled out. He did not. He didn't have a great game. He looked very average, just throwing to wide open people in the NFL. When you have 3 or 4 yard cushion in the NFL, you better hit him. Okay, and Dak situation, I don't know how the contracts go. I try not to worry about all that. Who cares? I can't do anything about it. If he's on our team, we need him to win. That's what we need from him to win. I don't know. I don't know what a contract looks like as far as getting out from under it, or if they will or won't. Jerry Jones has said this is quarterback that can get him to the Super Bowl. So that's kind of the judge, juror, and executor. So if he says it.
Which he has to say stuff like that. Like he's not gonna bash. He's sometimes came out publicly and bash McCarthy or Jason Garrett, people like that. But in this situation, you got to believe in your person, just like with the Jets. You got to believe in Zach Wilson. You got to pump him up, hoping that he could possibly be the guy that can get you over the hump. But in this situation, I mean, it's from everything I've seen, I believe they could get out of that contract after this year. So I guess my biggest thing is with you got Trey Lance, you you guys definitely could possibly trade up in the draft. I'm not necessarily saying they're going to trade to get the number 1 pick or anything like that, but something's got to give. And I don't necessarily want to put 100% everything all on Dak. He didn't necessarily play great. I know that Pollard had a fumble. There's a lot of drop passes. Like, it was just an overall bad game that I know that you guys would love to forget. And I agree with
I need you to start
Debo.
watching. I
With
need you to
Debo.
watch. I need you to watch the whole game, man. You can't watch half of a football game and then watch Stephen A. Smith talk bad about the Cowboys and then come say these things. Because this is.
I mean, even if I did stay up, they didn't play for dang near a quarter. I didn't know that.
This is the other side of it, right?
And I was the last thing I was going to say, just like as Debo said, it could have got worse.
Well, this is the thing about that game, and this is, if you watched it, you would know this. The reason you don't mind seeing the 49ers again is they played as well as they could play. The Cowboys didn't show up. So, if anything, yeah, you might beat them again, but the Cowboys have a chance to put a better thing on film than they did on Sunday. So, I don't see the 49ers doing better than 42-10 against the Cowboys. I just don't. Because they would have. They wasn't trying to take it easy on us. So, I don't think it gets any worse. I think if there's a difference, maybe the Cowboys show up and make it a competitive game. I don't know. But I'll also say this. Why is everybody always rushing to get rid of a quarterback? Who are you going to go out and get? Can we get Josh Allen? Can we get Herbert? Can we get Josh Allen? Can we get Jalen Hurts? Can we get Mahomes? No? Then why would you get rid of that? It doesn't make any sense.
And I think that's always what you look at as the alternative of
and that's
the
what
situation.
People never do.
And I think and I know that's why they paid him after he messed up his leg, because what's the alternative? He's out for the year, broke his leg, whatever the case is. Who are you going to get? You're going to draft a guy, build him up. What's the alternative? However, that's always going to be the conversation, just because and obviously it just depends on how the season plays out, because there's a lot of I was just looking at you guys' schedule. There's a lot of games that, and I just had it right here. Obviously you got us, and then when is you guys bye week?
I don't know.
Yeah, but Dak has to figure it out. The offense has to click. I mean, you got us, then you have, oh dang it, that's the 49ers. Anyways, yeah, there it is. You have us, and then you have the Rams. That should be a good bounce back game. Then you got this is at Philly, November 5th. Then you have the Giants, November 12th, at Carolina, versus Washington, versus Seattle, Philly, Buffalo, Miami. So towards the end of the season, definitely it gets a lot more rough. But
I just heard playoffs. I just heard a playoff run. Again, who do you replace them with that takes you to the playoffs every year? That's what people need to understand when they're trying to bash Dak. You don't understand how football works. You make it to the playoffs and you get a 20th pick in the draft. You're not drafting a quarterback. Like, it doesn't make. And the teams that are there that are going to draft first, second, third, the Bears of the world or the Panthers, whoever, they're taking the quarterbacks, or they're trading down with somebody else who needs a quarterback, bro. You're not getting better at the quarterback position from that. You're just not. You have to get your quarterback, you ride with him, and then when he's done, you replace him. That's how it goes, bro. Or you draft somebody and try to groom them.
Or just like Romo, get hurt, somebody else comes in, and you go from there. Some people were of the mindset of Cooper Rush. Obviously, we saw what he did last year, and I think it was. Bro. I mean, 5-1. Hey, I'm just saying.
I don't have conversation with people who say that. So say Cooper Rush could do better than that. I won't even have a real. I promise you, I'm dead serious. I won't even have a conversation with
you. Yeah, it's. And truthfully, I still don't understand the Trey Lance trade. I mean, is that just to motivate Dak? Is that just to try to get him to play better? I mean, Trey couldn't figure it out in a simple. Trey couldn't figure out in a simple system in San Francisco.
Well, it's because Cooper Rush isn't as good as these people who are saying Cooper Rush should have started. But this is the other part, and I always tell people this: the Cowboys are best when they play complementary football. When the defense is on the field for 9 minutes out of the first half or 10 minutes out of the first half, and they're not getting a break, bro, no defense is good enough to sustain that. When they got blitzed the first drive of the game, boom, then Cowboys go 3 and out. They get a stand. Cowboys go 3-9 again. Your defense is living on the field against a team with a bunch of weapons, a bunch of options that they can get the ball to, and there's only so much you can do without having some help, without a sustainable drive from your offense. That you know what I'm saying? You're just up against the ropes the whole fight, and that's what it looked like. We look like we look like the twin. We look like Charlo versus what's his name the other day, up against the ropes the whole fight.
Yeah, so
not even close.
Yeah, but definitely, we are. That's a matchup everybody's gonna be talking about. In 2 weeks, you guys do play Philly. That's another matchup that everybody will be talking about. But the one that I want to talk about is our game. I think this is, of course, we're just in week 6, so it doesn't really mean much. But this is, it's going to be a huge bounce back game for you guys, and also too for us to. We're so up and down. We have a coach that doesn't know when to go for it, when to not go for it. Eckler's banged up. Derwin James is banged up. Herbert has a messed up finger. So we're just, I'm just, like I said before, if I can get me a good game, get my revenge back from a couple years ago, that's all I ask. But definitely is going to be a good game. Probably one of the best games, I believe, this week, looking at the slate in week 6 for sure.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. I don't think you guys are that good. I think we're better, but we'll see.
Yikes.
I mean, we lost to the Cardinals. We lost to the worst team in football and the best team in football. So I don't really know what we are, but
yeah, that's. But I gave you your pass for that one. Everybody has their one with the Cardinals. San Francisco, that's a different story.
That's what I'm saying. You can say, okay, we slept on the Cardinals. We lacked off. We overlooked them. But you can't say that about the 49ers.
No,
you absolutely cannot say that.
That's because you knew who was on your schedule and they were just prepared. Now, if this game wasn't in Dallas, would it have been a different?
No.
I think the game would have been a little more close.
I
don't think you guys would have lost by 32 points if the game was here. 100%.
I think if Fred Warner was on that football. No, I don't agree with that. I think if Fred Warner was on the football field and we did what we did, we lose the same way, if not worse.
Yeah. So, all right. So recapping.
But that's what.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, about this game. Your defense isn't as tough as the 49ers.
Not at all. Not even
so
close.
I think that it'll be a much different outlook, and it'll make our defense look better because they'll have some support, some sustainable drive, some points on the board to build some momentum our way. And then put some pressure. Is Mike Williams out?
He's done for the season. He's out. Yes, he's done. Yeah. As far as our second receiver, Josh Palmer, I don't know if you've heard of him or not. You may have from fantasy. Gerald Everett, he's tight end from Seattle. He's somebody that's you may or may not have heard of. So we don't have a ton of, other than Keenan Allen, receiver-wise, we don't have a ton of firepower. Quentin Johnson from TCU, he hadn't been able to find a way in this offense. He pretty much averages about 2 or 3 catches a game. Hopefully he does have a breakout game. But as far as receiver-wise, you stop Keenan Allen, that's pretty much your ticket to beat us. Now, Austin Eckler's been out. I remember I told you Josh Kelly was a sleeper for week 2 and 3. He's been horrible. He's been so bad. It's disastrous how bad this dude's been. But also, too, and you shouted out Austin Eckler, I believe, an episode or two when I was talking about the Chargers. And I was telling my dad this morning. This is amazing for Austin Eckler because you see how bad your backup has been. So just to show you, hey, when I play, look at what we do as a team. Look at my rushing yards. Look at my production. Look at what the offense does. But when he plays, we can't even beat the Tennessee Titans, who aren't that good of a team. We barely beat the Vikings if it wasn't for our defense bailing us out with that last second interception. Looking at the Raiders, that was another one that we barely won by Justin Herbert's 50-yard pass to Josh Palmer. So it's Austin Eckler has a huge leverage in the offseason if the Chargers do want to keep him. But he is coming back. Hopefully he's coming back. But it was smart to rest him and not play him against the Raiders. So that's definitely going to help us, but it's not going to be easy going up against, Parsons and Van Der Esch and some of the other guys.
Well, shout out to Jonathan Taylor for getting his money. You see, they gave
3 years. 3 years.
The Vikings are looking like they probably should have paid him. I I know these are teams that we're not going to talk about. They should have paid Dalvin Cook.
Devin Cook, yeah.
Get rest up. Hope you feel better. Justin Jefferson, man, he might sit out the rest of the year.
Yeah, on IR now, so he's not coming back.
But there's no reason for him to come back at all. They're 1-4.
Well, here's the crazy part, and you know me, you don't get into contracts. I love getting into contracts. This is a contract year for him. I'm not saying that he's not going to get paid. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah,
but I think that he may look at it as it's a hamstring. It's not. By the way, Keenan Allen, he messed up his hamstring a year ago, and it took him 6, 7, 8 games to come back. I don't know if it's his situation, if it was as bad, but he's definitely on IR, so he's not coming back at least for a month. But I think just as a football, when you practice all off season and you want to play, you want to be out there. So I think he's going to want to go out there. Now, if Kirk Cousins, will he possibly get traded? That's another story on another side of the situation. But I think he's going to go out there and play.
I disagree. I think it's stupid. I think it's absolutely dumb because if you look at his first 4 games this year, he's been himself for the most part. But you guys know exactly who I am. You've seen it for the past 2 years, exactly who I am. Why would I go out here and hurt myself trying to prove to the Vikings or to anybody? The Vikings just showed you that they didn't care about Dalvin Cook, who was rushing for 1,000 yards every year for him. Why would they give a damn about you? I'm sitting out, I'm getting my money, and I'm coming back next year. Why do I want to come back to a team that got 3 wins? What does that do for me?
Shoot, I think they got 1. But yeah.
No, I'm saying maybe in a month they have 3, maybe 2.
Yeah.
So possibly, now we're 2-7 or 3-7. Why am I coming back? We're not making the playoffs.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It's not a good business decision.
Yeah, I just think it's just who was it that didn't want to hold? I forget who it was. Devontae Adams, actually. This was with this was without Aaron Rodgers, and Devontae was in a contract year. And he was saying, I remember just, being poor and not growing up with any money. And I'm not going to just not play for whatever or hold out or whatever for a contract. I'm going to play. So everybody has their own reasons for playing or not playing or whatever. I definitely think Justin Jefferson will for sure come back. I just don't see him being that guy to just not play to hold out for the contract.
It's not holding out for the contract. He's hurt. They put him on the IR.
Yes, but he's going to be.
You're talking about contract negotiation for Devontae Adams. He was fine. He said he wasn't playing and didn't want to give up money because you give up money when you sit out. But if I'm on an IR, you said up here and just said Keenan Allen took 8 weeks almost to get back from a hamstring. So it's not an injury that it's not an ankle. It's not something like that. So if I'm not 100%, I'm not touching the field for what? It doesn't make any sense to play.
That I agree with. But if he's 100%, I think he's going to go out there and play. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I say it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. All right, so we'll look into some other games. We don't even care about the Thursday night football game with the Bears and Commanders. Nobody cares about that. The London game, the Jags and the Bills. The Bills looked amazing last week against Miami, and then they turn around and they go to London. And I'm not saying they had a bad game. It was a great game towards the end, but the Jaguars did come out and take that game. So that the AFC, that's crazy. I can't even look at the best team in the AFC. You have to give it to the Chiefs. The Bills, they're always up and down. And this is what I've been saying for years with Josh Allen. Josh Allen looks amazing at times, and then from there he looks just below average. With week 1, he threw 3 or 4 interceptions. And then a couple weeks later, he just looks great against Miami. Now, Miami's a great team, and they're going to be there down the road. Tyreek Hill's amazing. I've said this last week. Tua is going to get a contract. If he stays healthy, no concussions, he's going to get a contract. But the Bills are just too inconsistent for me to put them up there.
The biggest contract. And you put the biggest contract.
He will be the highest paid player. Yes, he will. He just has to. If he gets a concussion, you're going to get a Geno Smith contract, which is like 3 years for like a Geno Smith Kirk Cousins contract.
He'll get paid more money than that. I just don't think he should get the highest paid. But we already have.
I don't agree either. But he will, unfortunately. So, all right. So, any other?
If I'm the Bills, I'm calling up to the front office of the NFL and I'm saying stop sending me to London. I have to fly to London on a Friday and play on a Sunday morning. I'm not
I
doing it, dog.
I got
And
something
they
better for you.
and the Jaguars were over there for the past 2 weeks.
Exactly.
I'm in the playoffs. I'm in the playoffs every single year. I'm not supposed to, this is a game for teams that don't have a fan base, teams that can't pack out a home stadium. I'm not in that category, bro. Stop sending me to London. And I'm calling a spade a spade. When the Chargers played over there, you guys were in the soccer stadium. It was when you guys weren't playing at SoFi yet. The Jaguars go over there every year. They've asked the league to move the Jaguars multiple times because they can't fill up a stadium. Like the Falcons were over there. They have a young team. They're not winning anything. Those are the teams that are supposed to be over there. Send the Bears. Or maybe the Bears will send. They'll pack out a stadium because they got a fan base. But I'm pissed if I'm the Bills. Why are you sending me over here? Why do I have to
But
play these games?
but to your point, the Jaguars now, and my biggest thing, do you go home after the game and come
No, they
back, or you just
stayed.
stay
They
over there?
stayed. They
You
stayed. They
know,
did it right. They stayed.
so it's just like I mean, yes, it's a vacation, but is it really a home game? And then you get screwed out of some home games. If those are two of your home games, you get screwed out of those. So I don't love it. I think it's amazing being able to wake up and you have football, especially being out here where we got football at 8:30, back home at 6:30. If that's your team playing, then that's horrible. But I mean, I don't like. And then this week we got the Ravens at the Titans. That should be a relatively decent game. Lamar's been. Did you see that there was some stat that was out there that said Lamar was like the best rate quarterback or something that played last week, with
I mean,
how bad
y'all say I
he
don't
played?
like y'all say I don't like Lamar, so I'm not gonna say nothing about him. But y'all see what
I
he's doing.
I
Y'all see it. Hey, we can come on here and bash Dak all y'all want to, but we will never tell the truth about Lamar, and it's fine.
I I I wanted to put this in a group chat, and I agree with you. Lamar is not he can't throw. I'm not saying Odell's just Randy Moss out there, but that last play, all you got to give the guy a chance. That ball wasn't even close, and at least throw it high. You saw he's not the Odell of old in New York. We know that, but he at least has some flashes of the Cleveland slash the Rams Odell. Throw it up there so we can get it. That was one of the worst passes that I've seen, and to say that he was one of the best rated quarterbacks of last year, or I'm sorry, last week, ridiculous. Like
Well,
I agree with you. I will never give you any slack or anything. That was a game that I watched from start to finish. I'll never say anything else about you talking about Lamar ever. The dude is.
you said he was gonna be the MVP this year. Hey, don't feel bad. Chad said we're gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, like that was. I mean, it was just embarrassing. And I'm not even a Ravens fan. I mean, of course, I have fantasy and bet a couple of dollars on a game here and there. But just as a football fan, watching that game, and you know me, I'm a huge Odell fan. I'm a Odell fan. I'm a LaMelo Ball fan. There's certain fans or certain
Jason
players
Tatum and the Celtics.
not the Celtics, Tatum. But that really made me mad. So, all right, is it time for Bill Belichick to retire?
No, man. Let's be honest. Players make coaches. Let's call a spade a spade. If he gets another Tom Brady in there, he'll be fine. He doesn't have it. I think Mac Jones surprised a lot of people his first year, and the expectations got high. And now we're starting to see, okay, he's just another Alabama quarterback who's not there.
Mm-hmm.
He don't have the best talent around him anymore, and he's below average at best.
Yeah.
But again, who are you replacing Dak with? I'm sure Belichick will trade Dak for Mac Jones right now.
Yeah.
But do you want Mac Jones?
Who?
Hell no. The Cowboys.
Oh shoot!
For the people who are saying, trade Mac Jones or trade Dak.
Oh, shout out to Chad. Chad was in the comments. I'm over here looking at the other.
I saw.
Okay.
I saw.
Yeah. So, all right. Now we all saw the Chiefs and Vikings game. I told my dad that was going to be the big upset of the year. I thought the Vikings would turn around and win that game. The Vikings are
really
just they're not good at all, and it's getting worse because historically they win some of those games. They beat the Chargers, they beat the Chiefs, they beat those teams in tight races. Now last year they did lose a lot of close games, and same with year before. Do I think Dalvin Cook is the ultimate factor? Possibly, but it's Kirk Cousins got to get the ball out. I don't know if it's the offensive scheme, the scheme, the system, or what it is, but it's not good at all. And now knowing that your best players on IR, Madison is not. He's okay. He's not Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook really fit in the system. You know, you had Thielen, now he's gone, and Carolina dude is balling this year. But this is a team that defense can't really make too many stops. I feel like for the most part they played a decent game. They came back, almost won, but and also too the Chiefs players definitely should have got a fine for taking his helmet off. Which why they didn't call that, I have no clue.
Well, I'll say this because you ended there. If he takes his helmet off and they throw a flag, which they should have, the play is still over and it's still Chiefs ball, so it doesn't matter because it was fourth down. And it would have been a dead ball penalty already after the Chiefs got the ball back. But they started 8-1 last year. I don't know if it's all
that's a stat right there.
And I told you guys last year too that they would fall off, and they did, because they were winning these close games like they're losing now. But I'm going to say another name, man. Adam Thielen. Was he there last year?
No.
He was already gone?
I believe he was gone already. I'm not sure where he was.
I know he's in Carolina now, but I feel like he was there last year. But I could be wrong. But I think those two guys are people that they're missing in Minnesota right now. Him and Cook. Did you know Dalvin Cook's middle name is his brother's first name, and his brother's middle name is Dalvin?
Wow. I did not know that.
That's a very random fact, sorry. He was there last year.
Now I'm curious, was he there last year? He wasn't consistent at all. I know last year he was there, but he wasn't really, because what did he do in 2022? He played 17 games, 70 receptions, so that's not bad at all. 716 yards, okay, but 6 touchdowns compared to 10 touchdowns for the previous year and 14 the year before, which was his best year. So obviously you have a drop. Of course, Justin Jefferson has a lot to do with that. They got TJ Hockenson. I'm not sure if he came last year, that trade with the Lions, or if it was the year before, but that definitely has something to do with it as well. By the way, the kid Addison, he's been balling out too as well.
But a lot of those 70 catches, it doesn't sound like a lot. We see people getting 100 receptions and this and that. But there are a lot of third down catches for Adam Thielen. That's what he is. He's a possession guy. He gets open, and he doesn't blow the top off of defenses and things like that. But that's what they're missing right now. When you're losing one possession ball games, it comes down to third downs, dog. And that's
you
where
get me. You get just go. Is it that bad?
Yes. What are you doing?
For the people that are on the podcast, I put the mic super close to me. Marlon gave me a stat earlier how they started 8-1 last year. This year, he already has 38 receptions. Last year, for the year, he had 70 receptions, and it's through week 5. So, but no, I think it's dope. I think it's amazing that it's clicking with Carolina, and Bryce Young hadn't played. He was out, I think, a game or two, and you had Andy Dalton that was in there. So it's clicking. He already has 3 touchdowns, half of what he had last year. So I'm glad he at least found a home. And he was a huge fantasy sleeper for the past since week 2. Huge sleeper. You not allowed keep.
What's his name? You can't talk about my keyboard anymore when you just did that to the microphone. That was aggressive.
My bad. All right.
Apologize to the listeners too, because they're gonna.
All right.
Hate you
so getting to the picks, I didn't even look. I'm trusting Marlon's word for it. I don't know why, but from what he said, I got beat again. So I
picked 3 times this year, and I won all 3.
Yeah. I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna win. Like, I'm not worried about it. So I typically always win. So it's a little down, rough patch, rough season for me. I feel like the Broncos slash Vikings slash Bears.
Oh, he froze up on me. This is
Me,
why you use computers when doing a podcast.
I froze up.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, you froze up. Hey, I know we're moving. No, you're good now. I know we're
Yeah,
moving forward, but did you say Thielen has 36 catches so far for this year?
38.
Justin Jefferson has 36.
That's amazing. But Jefferson is, which is crazy because he only I last week I think he didn't have that many last week. Chiefs had a really good defensive plan on him last week. Shoot, with the Chargers, we of course we gave up his first touchdown. Why wouldn't we? With the Chargers,
Well,
I'm not surprised at all.
we gave up 3 to Kelsey Jr. Kittle.
Yeah, as Aaron Rodgers would say, Mr. Pfizer. All right, so next week, looking forward, we will do the picks offline. We won't do the picks now. I know it just takes a little bit of time, so we will do the picks offline. But looking at some of the matchups, Thursday night football, Chiefs and Broncos. Obviously we know what's going to happen with that. That's in Arrowhead too as well. So even if it was in Mile High, I mean, Chiefs are going to run away with that one. The London game, Ravens and Titans, or I don't know if it's London. Yeah, it is London. So that one is at 8:30 Central. And then from there, some other notable games: Commanders, Falcons, nobody cares. Vikings, Bears, nobody cares. Joe Burrow and the Bengals. That's a game that they kind of needed to at least turn that season around. So as a football fan, of course, in the AFC, if I'm just looking at the landscape, Chiefs are going to win the division. If for the Chargers to make a wild card spot, the Bengals are going to figure it out. You have the Browns that are there. You got the Steelers that are there. You got the Ravens that are there. You got all the teams in the AFC East. It's going to be almost impossible to be one of those 3 spots. But as a football fan, it's great to see Joe Burrow back and Jamar Chase finally getting his first touchdown yesterday. And I believe he had 3 touchdowns too.
Shout out to Jamar Chase. I don't know what's been going on there. But
I think they got the Seahawks. I think they're gonna figure it out.
Well, if you don't figure it out against the Seahawks, you can take a L.
Yeah. So
other than that, they're not gonna go beat you up, but they will beat you.
Yes. Yeah. So other than that, there's not really a lot of great games. I mean, Seahawks, Bengals, 49ers, Browns, Panthers, Dolphins, Colts, Jags, Saints, Texans, Patriots, Raiders, Cardinals, Rams. There's really not a lot of great games. Eagles, Jets, Lions, Buccaneers, and the Sunday night football is this won't be a good game. The Bills and the Giants.
It's New York versus New York. They should have played this on 9. They should have played this on 9/11,
but they should have did. They should have. I thought they would have did just Giants. 9/11.
That would have been good too.
It's New York. So, but of course you have our.
Isn't that when Aaron Rodgers got hurt on 9/11 when he came out carrying the flag and stuff?
Yep, that was it. It was 20-something seconds in or something like that, and then bam. Which, by the way, I love how they're hyping it up to saying he's going to come back this year. He's not coming back this year.
Stay off the weed.
It's not a. It's at a dude he's about to be 40 in 2 months. Like, you can't tell me you're going to be the fastest person ever to come back from an Achilles injury to play week 17, 18? Like,
I don't
come
care
on,
if he was. I don't care if he was turning 30 in 2 months. He ain't come back this football season. Maybe next year.
And I mean, it's just for what? And my dad, and I mean, you know this. My dad doesn't know this. But he was like, well, he may mess around and tear that Achilles. And I said, that with the way they stitch up those structured Achilles, ain't no tearing that. So you're not gonna tear it, but you could overcompensate and mess around and mess up a knee or pop that other Achilles.
Hey, it feel like you got one of them elastic bands in your heel right now, boy. That thing is. Like
Man,
the
tight.
first day out of surgery, it was stronger than the other one.
Facts, facts. And I asked too. I said, yeah, could I possibly tear this one again? There's no way.
So
It's not
you'll have to
possible.
take a knife and cut this. You'll have to
Facts.
be torturing you.
Facts, facts. So, all right, some NBA topics. I know we are in the preseason. Um, there was a story that came out that said that Darvin Ham wants Anthony Davis to shoot at least 6 threes a game. In the playoffs, I believe he averaged 1 3 a game in the playoffs, which sometimes it just depends on the situation. If he's open, if he's the 5 at that point. So, how do you feel about somebody like AD averaging 6 threes per game?
Well, I think what he wants him to do is shoot the ball more. I think that's what this is. He wants him to look for a shot more. He wants him to be more aggressive. Um, and I mean that spreads the court. You got an aging LeBron who will probably spend more time in the post this year, which will put AD out on the perimeter. But you got other guys, other bigs too, man, that'll be playing for the Lakers this year. You got Christian Wood who can also shoot threes, but can play inside a little bit better than, or maybe not a little bit better, but a little stronger than AD at this point. I don't know. I don't mind it. I don't mind it because AD can shoot it. But I just think it's an aggressive mindset because he also said in the same quote, "I know he won't do it, but I asked him to shoot 6 times." You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
maybe if he gets a 3 or 4, he'll be happy with that, and we'll see a more aggressive AD. But
yeah.
I like what the Lakers did this offseason. I like what some other people did more, but but I've been vocal about that since they made the signings for the young boy from Miami, and they re-signed Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
They re-signed, I think they re-signed Rui. Uh,
Hachimura and
I didn't like how much money
Russell
they gave. I didn't like how much money they gave the Austin Rivers kid though.
Reeves. Reeves.
They Yeah, Austin Reeves. They are hyping him up so bad, bro. They got him ranked like
Which,
top 30 in the NBA.
and you
That's
know what's
effing
crazy?
crazy.
And I think with him playing in Team USA, I think that kind of helped a little bit. But I expected
Why
a little
they
more from
lost? They
him.
got fourth place.
I expected a lot more from him to be if he's just. But the problem is, it's like are you a shooter? Or are you just like what's your identity? And I understand that he's had some games where he's knocked down some amazing threes, and that's dope, and I love it, and I hope it carries on. But it's the consistency from me. It's just so I'm just not. He's not a horrible player. He's not a scrub. I'm not saying
No, I'm not
he's a
saying that either.
bad, but it's
But let's say
he's
this. Let's say
he's a
this.
role player pretty much. That's what he is.
Let's say this. The smartest thing he could have done for his career was stay with AD and LeBron.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
he wasn't like we saw Mikal Bridges go to New Jersey or to Brooklyn
Bridges.
and immediately take a leap and start averaging
Mm-hmm.
30 plus points a game after coming from being kind of the second, third guy in Phoenix. If
Mm-hmm.
Austin Rivers was to go get his own team like that, we're not seeing him make a jump from 15 points a game to 25 points a game. It's not happening. He just doesn't have the game like that.
Yeah.
So it's good for him to be the third or fourth guy on. I always talk about this. Always to be the third or fourth guy on that scouting report is a lot different than being that first name up there. When, when,
Pressure.
when you're the guy, forget pressure, how they're defending you, how they're focused on you. And when you're
Mm-hmm.
the third or fourth guy, the coach is coming in and say, hey, we want this guy to beat you. So when you see
Yep.
Austin Rivers or Austin Reeves with those open threes in the corner or something like that, that's a game
Mm-hmm.
plan. We want to live or die with you making the shots as opposed to AD or LeBron. So
Exactly.
it's just a different ballgame. So I like that he stayed there for him. I think the money was high, but I think it's a good
Yeah.
career choice to stay there.
Yeah. And then it looks like the season starts. Shoot, do I have this right? I think it's the last week. I think October 24th, which is on a Tuesday. I believe that's when the season starts. So, yeah, man, it's just good to just kind of see some guys out there. And there was something else out there with a lot of people had an issue with Zion playing in some preseason games. I had some issues a couple years ago as just with Anthony Davis and his health through the playoffs, and then from there he's out there playing preseason games. It's really almost like, and you can obviously attest to this. If you don't get hurt, you don't get hurt. Whether you're going to get hurt in a preseason game or if you get hurt opening night or game 25 or in this stupid in-season tournament, whatever the case is. You're going to get hurt, you're going to get hurt.
Right.
But also, too, you're going to need the runs. You get hurt at practice. But you need the runs. Achilles can pop at any time. ACLs can go at any time, but you need the runs.
This is one of those damn if you do, damn if you don't. They were also talking about him for not playing at the end of last year. So it's like, man, I'm trying to get back healthy and get on this court. I was telling y'all last year I could play, but the organization kind of held him back a little bit. Hey, we want you to get all the way healthy, maybe drop a few more pounds. And he did that. So let the guy play, man.
Yeah.
This isn't one of those situations for me like Justin Jefferson. He has more to prove on the court than sitting out. And he already got that money, so.
Right. So, and obviously we will do in 2 weeks, we will give our MVP, Rookie of the Year predictions, finals predictions, all that stuff, in-season tournament predictions too as well.
I don't even know how that works.
Me neither, but I'm gonna just pick a team. So yeah, but
Kings,
other than that,
the Kings. I picked the Kings.
Hey, at this point, I wonder, does every team make it?
Well, every team plays. So you'll have regular season games that count towards the tournament. And your schedule in those games will be
okay. All right, yeah. So, all right, so hey,
but they'll be spread out. There'll be random games. It won't just be like, oh, this week you're playing for the tournament. It'll be like random games in your schedule.
And I'm segueing back into WNBA 44-50. By the way, my girls is coming back.
Let's go. Come on, I got them +5, baby.
Oh yeah, let's go. However, they were talking about the games as far as that how wins and losses with in-season tournaments too as well. Liberty's won more than the Aces, but it's what games count, what games don't, because there was a period within 2 weeks where they played like 3 times and
got their ass whooped. The Aces got their ass whooped.
Yes, and I'm just like, well, how does this? I don't understand it. So my fault. Hopefully we get. I need one of them. Jeez.
Yeah. I told you.
Yeah.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, I know.
One of these guys.
I'm being cheap. I got all these cores and everything, but yeah, I just wish I could just understand a little bit more.
Well, they have like a Governor's Cup, right? Is what they call theirs. That's a similar setup to where regular games count towards it, and then they actually play a
Commissioner's Cup. Yes,
Commissioner's Cup. My apologies, WNBA fans, but you see me repping for y'all.
I spend money.
I spend money.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay,
that's because you don't support them like I do. You just like the clips on Instagram.
Look, man. I
got them on the big TV today.
You ever sat courtside at a game?
All right. No.
Yeah. All right. Conversation over.
You have?
All right. Yes. And I saw Stewie.
How much?
They actually weren't that bad. I got 3 of them, and they were about $170 a piece.
Okay, so if they were that bad, you wouldn't have did it. You only said courtside because it was convenient. Got it.
No, I would have. I think I would have done it. I thought there were going to be a little bit more, but I would have done it.
I hope the fans out there know that I am not a big sporting events guy. I don't know a lot of Cowboys games.
I love it.
To a lot of baseball games.
Which is wild because you're out here.
Yeah, but I don't want to be around 80,000 people that are drunk and saying trade the quarterback, F the quarterback. No, dog, that's your team. You're supposed to be rooting for us to win. That's stupid. So
was the last Cowboys game that you went to? Was the last one that we went to?
No.
Okay.
Did you just post that, by the way?
Did I post us going to the Cowboys game?
I feel like you posted a picture from 2017. No?
I posted something from 2000. No, not me, unless we got hacked.
Oh, we made it. We got hacked.
It definitely was not me. We made it. Definitely was not me. No. So, yeah, but no, it's I love it. It's a vibe. It's the tailgating, the walking in, the energy. I used to love going. I used to go to Cowboys preseason games every year just to it just felt good to just be around the game and everything. So no, I loved it. But anyways, man, I am going to watch the rest of this game. The second half is about to start, so I'm hoping my girls can turn this thing around. But other than that, man, you got anything else?
Yeah, I need that +5, dog.
I
Make it
feel you,
happen.
man. I feel you. I feel you. All right. If you're listening to this, I will be outside on Monday. Outside.
We,
Cowboys, Chargers. Yes, we will be outside. So,
and we should do a Marlon versus Marlon meet and greet for all the fans, for all the listeners,
no, I'm not doing that. I'm
supporters.
not doing that. Well, I mean, we can.
Why?
I'm not. I'm not
All we're
recording.
gonna
I'm
do is
not.
say, hey guys, this is where we're gonna be. It's all.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that. When the game is on, don't talk to me. Don't But yeah.
See, what's the point of going out if nobody can talk to you? We're
Well,
gonna
I
have
mean,
debates.
I will. I don't mind talking to people that I know. But if I don't know you, I mean, if you got my same colors on, welcome.
People are listening to this that don't.
Touche.
We haven't really got hacked. We haven't really got hacked yet. We're not there
yet. Yeah. But all right. I will be watching my game, and on Monday we can watch our game, and on Tuesday it's going to be the best episode ever because Cowboys will be 4-3, and Chargers will be 3-2. And with
Sounds good.
with that, we will catch y'all next week. Peace.
We have.